Okay, so you know me as your Queens and Island real estate agent. I spend my days in one of the most competitive, most expensive real estate markets in the entire country. But every once in a while, I get on a plane and I land somewhere that makes me stop and think, wait, people actually live like this. I did it in Mendoza, Argentina. I did it in Turks and Caicos, and today I am standing in Limassol, Cyprus, right on the Mediterranean coast. Sunshine over 300 days a year, ancient ruins literally within city limits, and marina full of yachts, and real estate that is attracting serious international money from around the world. Today, I'm meeting a local Keller Williams agent, Konstantinos, and we are walking through two real apartments. One listed at 265,000 euros and one at 385,000 euros. And I'm going to ask him every question that you are probably already Googling at 2 a.m. in the morning. Can Americans actually buy here? What happens with taxes? What is this golden visa everyone keeps talking about? And is this the place actually as good as it looks? Let's find out. So here's what you need to know about Limassol. It's the second biggest city in Cyprus, but it's really the business center of the country. This is where companies are based, deals are happening, and a lot of the international money flows through. You feel it right away. The marina is filled with yachts from all over the world, and the whole city has that global, fast-moving energy. At the same time, it's still very livable. You got sunshine almost year-round, a long waterfront promenade where people walk, eat, and just enjoy the day. And then right in the middle of it all, you'll find ancient ruins. There's also a strong expat community here. People from Russia, Israel, Eastern Europe, and now more Americans are starting to take a serious look. And when you look at the numbers, it starts to make sense. A one-bedroom here starts around 265,000 euros. There's no annual property tax, none. If you're coming from New York, that alone gets your attention. English is spoken everywhere, so it's easy to settle in. And Cyprus is working toward joining the Schengen area, which will make travel across Europe even easier for residents. So that's why Limassol is on more people's radar right now. We are walking to the first property, Katholiki, Limassol, 265,000 euros. Brand new construction, 2026, one bedroom, 72 square meters total. That is about 775 square feet for my American viewers. First floor, elevator, covered parking, storage room, balcony. And it is energy rated A, which in Europe means very low utility costs. Let me show you inside. I'm with Konstantinos. He's the Keller Williams agent here in Cyprus, in Limassol. And we're standing at a 265,000 euros apartment, a one bedroom, one bath in Katholiki. Is it Katholiki?
Yeah, this is Katholiki.
Yes. Katholiki, which is actually very close to the old town. And I'm going to ask him a few questions that's very important for viewers. And one of them is, at this $265,000 euros, do you think this is an entry point for pricing?
Let's say if you are looking for new apartment, if you need good location in city center, yes. Price you should consider around 250. And this property exactly in this price range.
Right. So this is an entry point, price point. If people were to buy now, do you think that this is the right time to buy an apartment?
You know, in real estate market, you never know when it's right time. If you are ready to buy, of course you should buy, because we never know in an unstable world what will happen in the future.
Right.
Price will go up, down, or will stable. But of course, most probably it will go up.
Right. And another thing is that when you buy property in Limassol, in Cyprus in particular, there's this thing called VAT, and there's a difference between 5% and 19%, right? Can you explain what is this 5% or 19%?
Yes, customers have two options. You can apply 5% if it's your first property in Cyprus and you will use for a living. Minimum you should live in this property minimum 10 years. After you can rent or sell. But if you want property for investment or for buying it after a couple of years for selling, and you should apply 90%.
19%?
Yes, not 5%. For investment, all properties for investment should apply
19% if it's investment.
Yes.
So if I'm American buying here in Limassol, do I pay 19% or 5%? 19%. So that would be around 50,000 euros.
Yeah,
extra.
it will be, total price will be around 300,000.
300,000 euros, I see. Okay. Here's the question most people are thinking. Can an American buy property in Cyprus? Yes, you can. But there are a few rules you should know. If you're from the EU, it's pretty straightforward. You can buy more freely with fewer restrictions. If you're an American, Canadian, British, or from outside the EU, you need something called a Cap 109 permit. It's basically permission from the government. It sounds like a big deal, but in most cases, it's just a formality if you have a clean record. Your lawyer takes care of it. As a non-EU buyer, you are generally limited to one residential property, depending on the approval and the type of property. The process itself is pretty simple. You find a property, hire your own lawyer, not the sellers, sign the contract, apply for the permit, and register everything with the land registry. Your lawyer and agent handle most of it. One thing to be aware of right now in 2026, there are talks about changing the rules, possibly making it more restrictive for non-EU buyers in the future. Nothing has changed yet, but if this is something you're seriously considering, earlier might be better than later. Property number 2, and this one is a completely different conversation. We are in Yermasoyia, the tourist area of Limassol. The asking price is 385,000 euros, one bedroom, about 80 square meters, roughly 860 square feet. It's still under construction, so you're really buying into what this is going to become. From what we know, there will be a pool, underfloor heating, air conditioning, and a solar water system. Everything you expect at this price point. The Mediterranean Sea is about 650 meters away. That's roughly an 8-minute walk. Yermasoyia is one of the most popular areas in Limassol, especially with expats. You got professionals, retirees, remote workers, people who chose this lifestyle very intentionally. We couldn't get inside today because of the Easter holiday, but even just being here, you get a real sense of the location. Let me show you more of the area, and then I'll ask Konstantinos a few more questions. I continue asking Konstantinos, why is a one-bedroom in Germasogeia about 100,000 euros more than a similar one in Katholiki? And here's his answer.
Of course, it's coming from the land. For developers, when they are starting their project, they should buy land. And land in Germasogeia is most expensive. We are near Christaki Krano Street, near Dasudi, near Papa's supermarket. It's one of the famous and one of the high valuable location in Limassol. And of course, when developers are buying with some price for the land, they cannot do the same with Katholiki or even in other areas in Limassol. Because of that, we have much higher price in Germasogeia because of cost of the land.
Yeah, that's really good. So my next question to you is, if someone were to rent in this, to buy and then rent, because some people may not want to live here, long term.
Yes, for sure.
They want to come here because they want a piece of the Mediterranean here in Cyprus. So if I were to buy a property here for 385,000 euros, how much can I rent a one-bedroom for?
This is good question, of course. In Germasogeia, in new buildings, I'm not speaking about old buildings, only in the new buildings, we have prices starting from 1.8 up to, let's say, 2,500. And you can get easy in Germasogeia because it's very, very popular area. It's very touristic, very famous. You have Dasudi here, all beaches, all amenities are here. You can get estimate return of investment in Germasogeia. We have from 5 up to 7%.
5 to 7%. And this here, as you can see, it has come with swimming pool and also about 5 to 10 minutes walk to the
Yeah, it's 600 meters from the sea.
From the sea, and very close to shopping and also for
All amenities you have.
Yeah, all amenities. And how many of these properties are sold out now in this place?
Because Germasogeia is high demand area in Limassol. This project is almost finished. We have delivery after 2-3 months. Here we have only 2 apartments available. One is a 1-bedroom apartment and one is a 2-bedroom apartment.
So for American buyers, here's what you need to know. Getting a mortgage in Cyprus is possible, but it's not as straightforward as it is for locals or EU residents. There are banks here that work with non-residents, but the requirements are stricter. If you're coming in as a US buyer, you should expect a higher down payment, usually somewhere in the 30 to 40% range. The paperwork is also more involved. You'll need to clearly show where your funds are coming from. Your income, your tax details, everything needs to be very transparent. Because of that, a lot of buyers either come in very financially prepared or they choose to buy in cash to keep things simple. Either way, knowing your numbers before you get here makes a big difference. And just to say, rules and lending requirements can change. So if you're serious, always confirm the latest details with your own agent and lawyer. I asked Konstantinos how this compare for European EU buyers, and here's what he said.
We have 2 kinds of foreigners. One kind of foreigners are from EU. For them, it's easier to get loan from the bank. If you are living here, if you have history in your country, you can get loan much easier. If you are from third country, it's not easy. But if you are from third country, you are living here legal, you have job, you have great income, you need couple years, and after couple years you have this opportunity to get some loan. But for EU citizens, it's much easier.
Once you buy here, the next question is how long can you actually stay? If you are American or from outside the EU, you can typically stay in Cyprus for up to 90 days within any 100-day period without a visa. That's about 3 months at a time, which works well for a lot of second home buyers. But if you're thinking about staying longer or even living here, there are a couple of paths. The first is what people often call the Cyprus Golden Visa, the residence by investment route. In most cases, you're looking at a minimum investment of around 300,000 euros plus VAT into a new built property, along with proof of income from abroad. That can lead to permanent residency as long as you meet the ongoing requirements. The second option is a Category F resident permit. This is more for people who are financially independent and not planning to work here. The income requirement is lower and there's no specific minimum property price tied to it. So really, you're looking at 2 different approaches, one based on investment and one based on income. 2 paths, same lifestyle at the end of it. And this is what Constantinos have to say.
In Cyprus, we have a very good option for third countries citizens. They can buy property at least with a price 300,000 plus VAT, but it should be directly from developer, and they will get residential permit for them and their family. They can live here, enjoying with Cyprus, learning here, working here, and use all things like citizens. It's only 300,000 for residential permit, and most probably for this year or next year, Cyprus will enter in Schengen areas, and after, of course, prices will be another. Will change, it will be increase. It will be double or maybe more. Who is planning to get residential permit European Union countries? I think now it's very good period, because after entering in Schengen, prices will be definitely changed. Yes.
Here is where I land on Cyprus, specifically Limassol. This is a real city. This is not a resort you would be bored of after a week. This is a place with a 7-kilometer waterfront, ancient ruins, a marina full of international boats, and a community that speaks English, knows how to have a good time, and has been quietly attracting smart money for years. There's no annual property tax. English is everywhere. You can stay 90 days as a visitor or pursue a permanent residency and position yourself for visa-free travel across 29 European countries as Cyprus works toward Schengen membership. And you can buy a brand new one-bedroom apartment right here in Limassol for 265,000 euros. That's roughly 290,000 US dollars at today's rate. On the Mediterranean. Is this for everyone? No. But if you have been watching this channel, you have an idea of wanting to live somewhere else rent-free, Cyprus is worth looking. For Konstantinos' contact information, you can listen to him.
My name is Konstantinos Bostanidis. I'm working in Keller Williams, Limassol. For any question for real estate or any other question, you can contact me. My contacts will be below, or you can text to Claudia as well. Thank you very much.
Konstantinos doesn't just speak English, he speaks more than one language. Can you tell the audience what else?
Yes, of course. For Limassol and Cyprus, English is not enough. We are speaking English, Russian, little Greek, and that's all. It's enough.
Links to both apartments I visited today are in the description below. Konstantinos' contact information is down there too. Tell him I sent you. And if you want to talk about what this could look like for your situation, whether you are in Queens and Long Island or anywhere in between, I do one-on-one consultations. You can reach me at 347-612-2964 for a one-on-one session. And I'm always happy to talk to you about real estate.